Hi guys, so today's video is all about division, but first things first, I'm just going to go over yesterday's challenge with the missing digits from multiplication. So the answer is here on the board for the missing digits multiplication. The answer you should have is 2,345 multiplied by 5, and that should give you the answer of 11,725. So the first clue was that the 4 digits being multiplied were consecutive numbers, so that means that they come in order. So that required a bit of trial and error. So it could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, but obviously we know it's 2, 3, 4, 5. We can check this because the first 2 digits of the product, so that means our answer, are the same. So we know these two had to be the same. And the 4th and 5th digits of the answer, 2, 3, 4, 4th and 5th digits had to add to make the 3rd digit. So 5 and 2 gives us 7. So that should be the answer that you had. If you got that, really well done. If you didn't, don't worry, it was quite tricky. Today we are looking at division, so we're moving on to the next skill. Just to remind us, division is that whole idea of sharing. So if we started off with 15 and we were sharing, we were dividing between 3, I've drawn a little visual to help us see what we're actually doing. We're splitting the whole into 3 groups. And so we know in each group that is our answer. So obviously it would be 5. I just want you to bear that in mind when you're doing your division today. So we're thinking about splitting that number up into an equal amount of groups. Some division calculations you should be able to do with ease in your head. So for example, the one on the board, 120 divided by 4. There's a few ways that you can do this in your head. So first of all, when we're dividing by 4, we can think about halving it and then halving it again. So this is a nice even number that we can do that with. Also, you need to be looking at this number and thinking about what you already know. So I can recognise that 12 is a multiple of 4, it's just 10 times bigger. So if 12 divided by 4 gives me 3, then I know 120 divided by 4 must give me 30. Okay, so when we're doing division and some of the questions that you will have today, some of them you will be able to do in your head, so don't always think that you need to do a written calculation. However, sometimes you will get a calculation that is a little bit more difficult to do in your head, so we need a written calculation for that. Now the first one I'm going to show you and talk through is the chunking method. So that's the idea of taking our whole number, so 932, I'm dividing it by 4. So we're going to split that down and we're going to take chunks away of that number and then break them down, so it makes it a little bit easier. So the first thing, I've got 932, and because I'm my divisor, I'm dividing by 4, the first thing that you'll notice I've done is written out my 4 times table. So I would recommend that you do that too. I then need to look and think, what is the biggest chunk, what's the biggest multiple of 4 that I know that goes into that number? Now straight away, I'm thinking of 400. I know that 400 is 100 lots of 4. So I'm going to put 100 times 4, but it's this 100 that's really key. Then I'm going to take that away to see what I've got left. So 2 take away 0 is 2, 3 take away 0, 900 take away 400 gives me 500. Okay, so now I've got 532 left that I still need to divide by 4. I can actually take away another 100 lots of 4 because that's nice and easy. So I can take away another 400, which is another 100 lots of 4. Same again, taking it away. Always starting in our units column. 2 take away 0 is 2, 30 take away nothing is 30, 500 take away 400 gives me 100. Now, this is the part where I need to be looking, using my number sense and thinking, what's the next biggest multiple chunk of 4 that I can take away? Now I've got 130 something. These only go up to 48. So we need to think about, well, can I make these 10 times bigger? So I notice that if 12 is a multiple of 4, then I also know that 120 is a multiple of 4. And that's quite close to this number. So that's what I'm going to take away next. 120. Crucially, I need to think about how many groups of 4 is that. So 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 30 must be 120. So that's 30 groups of 4 that I've got there. Take that away. Now I've got 12 left. So without drawing on the wall, I know that 12 is 3 lots of 4. I'm going to pop that over here. You will have left yourself enough space. To get your answer, my answer isn't 0. I now look at how many groups of 4 I have taken away. So I've got 100, 200 and 33. So that would be my answer, 233. Now it's time to pause the video and I want you to have a go using the chunking method at doing this example. 812 divided by 7. You can go back and use the steps that I did to help you. Think about your biggest chunks that you know of that multiples of 7. Off you go. Let's go through it together. So you'll notice that I have got, here's my calculation, 812 divided by 7. 7 is my divisor, and I've already written out my 7 times table, my multiples of 7. And now I need to think about what's the biggest chunk, the biggest multiple of 7 that I know. Always, if your number is bigger, it's really easy to take away 100 lots of your number. That's always a great starter to take away. So let's take away 700. Crucially, I'm going to write over here 100 because it's 100 lots of 7. Then I need to take it away. Starting from my units, 2 take away 0, 10 take away nothing, 800 take away 700. Now I'm left with 112 and I need to divide that by 7. So I'm looking over here at my multiples. Right, the biggest number I've got is 84, so I could take that away, that's 12 lots. Again, I'm going to make it nice and simple for myself though. I'm going to take away 10 lots, which is 70. So writing 70, here's my 10 lots. Taking that away, 2 take away 0. 10 take away 70 I can't do, so we're taking that from here. Now I've got 11 tens take away 7 tens, which gives me 4 tens. Now I hopefully should be spotting 42 is a multiple of 7. It is 6 lots, so I can take away the whole 42 and have nothing left. That's 6 lots of 7. So my answer is over here. How many groups did I divide? 110 add 6. That gives me 116 as the answer. Time to pause the video again. I want you to have a go at this one, again using that chunking method. 364 divided by 7. So I've left my multiples of 7 there. But this time you're not going to be able to take away 100 lots of your number. So you need to think carefully about what is the biggest multiple of 7 using these number facts that you could take away. Have a go. Okay. So my number is 364. I'm looking over here at my multiples of 7. As I mentioned, I can't take away 100 lots of my number.